Hi everyone, I'm Morgan Edwards, manager at Saskatoon Funeral Home, Westwood Funeral Chapel, and Prairie View Crematorium. We've been getting inquiries from families and friends as to what a funeral home might be doing with this social distancing and the COVID-19 pandemic. We want to assure people that we're here for families in our community, and funeral homes and funeral providers across North America are the best experienced in helping families deal with death at an exceptional time, especially a time where there's trepidation around what to do next. We feel it's our duty and our responsibility to still help people commemorate the loss of a loved one, gather and pay tribute. Now, with social distancing requirements, gathering might seem impossible, but in fact, in today's day and age with technology, there's never been a simpler time to gather through a virtual realm. We are having families that are still having gatherings. Right now we're keeping those gatherings within Saskatchewan requirements in terms of limits of people. But there's other alternatives. So people may choose to have a private memorial service with just family and close friends present. They may choose to live stream that funeral to allow guests from far and wide to still participate. And they still are part of the service, they're still with that family, maybe not physically, but they're in heart and spirit. And what that means is they can still log in on their device. They can watch the funeral, they can participate by leaving condolences and uploading photos. It gives people a chance to know that their friends and family are standing there right with them. What we find is that this gives families pause, it gives them a feeling like they're doing something. What we hate for society to do would be to cower from this and to choose not to commemorate and not to have a funeral, because that's not necessary. And by social distancing, it's actually a fight against this virus. But by social distancing, we can also pull together. We've got the ability to have a virtual presence in our building. What that means is if there's a family member who can't be here because they can't travel to Saskatoon, they can log in through this virtual technology. That's the ability to be here, move around the room, talk back and forth with family members, possibly even give a eulogy. They can be here and view for visitation. And that's all through wherever they might be in the world. But it's as close as can be to being here in person. Other technologies in place are things like FaceTime and Skype, the ability to make arrangements over the phone if you can't be here in person, but also give a eulogy or a tribute through those technologies. We want people to know that death is universal, and the other piece that's universal is grief. And if we choose to avoid confronting that grief, avoid gathering, avoid paying tribute, we're letting this thing win. And we want to make sure we get together to support each other in any way possible. Through that digital realm, through social distancing, that's a new normal word. The other new normal word would be gathering, virtual gathering. And I want to make sure people know that that's possible and that it's quite acceptable and quite accessible. Nothing to be afraid of, and in fact, a way that we can do what we've done for centuries, and that's connect with each other and connect with those we care about. The other pieces that people are wondering about is, can we have a gathering of a certain number of people? The funeral homes in the province are staying in touch with Saskatchewan Health, making sure they accommodate those numbers and moving as needed. Some people wonder, is there a way that you're accommodating for guests when they do come? So we've got all sorts of ways that we're following guidelines. We've got door people at the door so the guests don't have to touch the same door handle. We've got guest register attendants signing the guest book for guests so we aren't using the same pen. Disinfecting, making all of the hymns and information digital rather than hymn books. We've thought of every area where there might be an area of concern. The other piece that people are often wondering about is, can we do something at a later date? And of course you can. Some people are having a memorial ceremony privately as a family, possibly live streaming, or at least gathering privately as a family to do something, and then a larger gathering at a later date. We can accommodate that as well and make sure that we stay in touch with those families, keep them up to date on the latest progress in terms of venues that might be open or closed. I know it's a scary time because things change by the minute. Having a professional with you is a way to take that stress away and allow you to feel confident and in control. We're here for you. Above all else, we want to know that families need support, funeral homes are there to offer that support. Saskatoon Funeral Home, Westwood and Prairie View are your locally owned funeral homes in the city. We've been here since 1910. Our family has supported people through every type of death. We were here during the Spanish flu. We know what to do, and in those periods of time, people couldn't gather. Now you have the ability to gather in different ways, through that digital realm, through social distancing, but still being here to support your friends and family. Don't run away from gathering in terms of support. This is the time when we need it the most, especially if you've had a death in your family. You need that support from family and friends, and we're here to